frequent air travel is accumulating those miles to earn a free trip, hopefully to a place with plenty of sunshine and a sandy beach. But new frequent flyer rules are putting dream vacations out of the reach of many airline passengers. Travel expert Abbamonte joins us here in our New York studios to talk about this, and it's so good to meet you, and thanks so much for being here, Lee.
Anytime, thanks.
So this has been a downhill spiral, I think, for passengers for a long time with these frequent flyer programs. Why have they gotten increasingly difficult to use and less valuable?
Well, the airlines basically issued way too many miles since the inception of the program like 30 years ago. It went from the legacy carriers, and now you have new entrants like JetBlue and Southwest and some of these other carriers like Virgin America, and they've gone to a cost-based model, which is now what the legacy carriers, like today, Delta Airlines announced that they're going to do a cost-based model, which is really going to hurt the little guy, like the normal traveler, as opposed to the business or first-class traveler.
Yeah, and by the way, and that is the news today, so let's just parse out what they've announced. They've said that they will award frequent flyers based on what now? Instead of miles, it's what?
It's how much you pay for your ticket. For instance, if you were to pay from New York to Los Angeles or vice versa, if you were to pay something like $300 or $400, now that round trip would normally be about 5,000 miles, like in the current model. But next year, if you paid, say, about $300 or $400, you'd only get about 1,700 miles. Whereas if you paid, I think the going rate is about $3,000 for a business or first-class ticket, you would earn about 15,000 miles. So with that calculator, based on how much you paid for your ticket, it depends on your status. If you have status, if you're gold, silver, platinum, that kind of thing. So that's how they're doing it now, and it's really going to hurt like the person who doesn't travel that much and who looks for a deal.
Is this for the airlines? Is this about maintaining or getting back a profit margin, which has been ever shrinking for quite some time now, or is this because of all these mergers where there's just simply not that much competition, so there's no reason to have these competitive programs?
Well, there's a lot of reasons they're doing it, and a lot of them are completely incomprehensible. However, there are less airlines, which is very true. So a lot of the miles have been consolidated. For instance, with the American and U.S. Air merger, those all come together in American Airlines now. So what Delta basically is doing is saying that your miles are less valuable if you pay less money for them. So they're rewarding the people who pay the most money. So theoretically, it kind of makes sense what they're doing. So they're rewarding the people who pay the most, but those are the people who aren't paying with their own dime. They're paying on business, fares.
And arguably the people that need those miles the least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're basically just trying to get rid of, the guys who are doing mileage runs. I mean, that's done. It's going to end. And, people who are collecting points with credit cards and stuff like that. So,
all right. So let's talk about a couple of particular frequent flyer programs. Who has the best at this point?
Well, right now I would probably say American. For the three major legacy carriers still left here in the U.S., Delta, United, and American. And the reason I say that is because American has not yet adopted a cost-based mileage platform like United and Delta both did this year. And then today, of course, Delta comes and says that it's not just going to be the amount spent. Like this year they did, to achieve their minimum, like Silver, you had to spend $2,500 and fly 25,000 miles. United basically did the same thing. But next year, Delta's saying that they're going to reward miles based on how much your fare was. Now, American hasn't followed suit quite yet. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Like
I was going to say, isn't it just a matter of time, don't you think?
It could be, but we still have a chance that maybe people will defect from Delta and go to American and United, and hopefully they won't follow suit, but I think they probably will, especially with the new merger with U.S. Air. It just makes sense for them.
All right. Well, this announcement notwithstanding, which airline makes it the most difficult to use the miles when you can accrue them?
Well, they're all kind of difficult to use, and there's less and less mileage seats available. And with the mergers, there's more competition, so you have to book them 10, 11 months in advance if you can find them. And now with the mileage levels going up, what you used to be able to get a one-way ticket for $10,000 is now like $25,000, or in business class is where you really got smacked. So if you used to pay like $30,000 or $40,000 for like a one-way ticket, now you could be paying upwards of $70,000 to $100,000 just for a one-way ticket for an upgrade. I mean, it's crazy. So basically, your miles are becoming a lot less valuable. And it's really unfortunate for people who have been accruing miles for years and years.
So is it worth it to be a part of these loyalty programs?
It used to be worth it, and now they're certainly a lot less valuable. And really, the only place you're getting value is you don't have to wait in line sometimes if you have a certain elite level of status, but really, so what? You know, and really where I, as a big international traveler, like it is to have lounge access when I'm traveling internationally. So if I have like a 6-hour layover in Frankfurt, I can get into the lounge over there. And, you know, I don't know if it's worth it. I'm not going to spend a lot more money just to be able to do that. I can easily sit in the terminal and eat at, you know, whatever restaurant they have there as opposed to the free food they serve in the lounge. So it's really not worth it these days, in my opinion.
Yeah, and your opinion is very valid because, oh, by the way, you used, what, 4.5 million frequent flyers?
4.5 million,
in all your travels and still going.
Still going. I still got a few left. So.
All right, Lee Abbamonte. Thank you so much.
Thank you.